Well, howdy, y'all. I'm kind of tired. I went to the senior, whatchamacallit, senior citizen daily get together up at the Senior Citizen Center. And there was one, two, three, four, five, six of us, plus two cooks. And the lunch was fair today. It was tater tot casserole, which was pretty good. I'm drinking Lipton Diet Citrus Green Tea. It's only 5 calories. It hadn't got sugar in it. I guess the calories comes from the citrus fruit. And it's sharp. Kind of makes that little doolally that hangs down in your throat, kind of makes it tingle. But anyway, I came home. I've got these ultraviolet lights that I turn on once a week in different parts of the house. It purifies the air. It ionizes the air and cleans the dust. It gets the dust out. I don't know how it works. It says it removes the dust, and it does. I just don't know how. And it kills dust mites. And I used to, when I'd get in bed, I'd start sneezing. And I never do that anymore. So I did the ionization, or whatever you call it. I've got 2 of those little machines, and I put one. It's supposed to do like I forgot how many square feet. A lot of square feet with just one. And this house is small, so I put one in the bedroom, and I make Kitty Callie come out, and I open the door between the bedroom and the bathroom and turn it on, just one of them. And so it does the bedroom and the bathroom. And then after it's finished, I put Kitty Callie in the bedroom and shut the doors to keep her in there. Well, I went in there too. And sometimes when I do it, I'll go somewhere. But today I just went in the bedroom and sitting there. I do it for an hour at each place. And had one in the living room and one in the kitchen / dining room. So let them run for an hour, and then Kitty Callie and I came out. And then actually before I did the ionization, I put clean sheets on the bed, and I took the comforter off that was on the bed and cleaned it off good, got as many cat hair off of it as I could, and with those sticky roller things, and washed it. And to dry it, I hung it out on the clothesline and went out there and beat it good with the broom and swept it off real good. It doesn't have any cat hair on it now. It's nice and clean. I hadn't put it back on the bed yet. I made up the bed with clean sheets. And I can't find my pillowcases, y'all. I don't know what in the world happened to my pillowcases. I can't find them anywhere. So I've been sleeping on a plain pillow with no pillowcase, because I can't ever remember to buy pillowcases when I go to the big town over yonder, and no place here in town sells them. So I've got some of those fancy pillowcases, some pillow shams, and I put those on for a while, but when I sleep, my hand got all tangled up in the thing, because it doesn't fastened down tight, and it's got a big slit all the way across the bottom of it, so I don't like those for sleeping on. And they're not supposed to be slept on. That's for the decoration pillows, and I got some decoration pillows. I just don't ever put them on the bed. I just stay piled on the floor next to the bed. But anyway, I got that done, and then after that I went out and picked some okra and some beets. And here's some of the potatoes I harvested yesterday. They're dirty. They hadn't been washed. Here's one of the onions I harvested yesterday. And I got a bunch of onions. And the beets are in the sink. I don't know what I'm showing you, but look over yonder. See the big leaves sticking out of the sink? That's the beets. Most of them are little, and that's what I like for pickling. But there's one in there that's that big around. I'll probably grate it and then grate some garlic and mix it together with a little bit of mayonnaise. I don't think I have any mayonnaise because I don't like mayonnaise, but I like it mixed with raw beets and garlic. It makes kind of like a dip or something. That stuff is good. And I always put extra garlic because I like garlic. My last wife from Ukraine taught me that, and I like that. So that's what I'm going to do with the big one. And there's a whole lot more. I just didn't pick them because I didn't want to deal with them all right now. But I've got to get the pickled beets done soon. And I might enter some of those in the county fair too. I got to find out when the county fair is. I got some information on it somewhere. Well, that tells what all you can enter in. Oh, let's see. I don't know when the county fair is. Well, I don't know. I don't know. Here's something else that I'm going to do. Paint your partner at the library. The librarian, she's always coming up with good things to keep people of all ages busy and having fun too. And that's how I'm meeting so many people up here, because I didn't know a single person here when I moved. I didn't know a single person in the whole state of Kansas when I moved up here. And I'm getting involved in all kind of stuff and meeting people and having fun. But this paint your partner is Wednesday, July 30th. And on their Facebook page, when she was telling about this, I said, I don't have a partner. And I said, as bad as I paint, if I did have a partner, she'd probably leave me after she saw the painting I did of her. So since I don't have a partner, I reckon I won't enter. Well, a female friend of mine that is a nurse saw my comment. She said, I'll be your partner. You can paint me. I said, well, don't get mad at me when you see the picture I paint of you. I said, because I can't paint worth diddly. And she said she won't. So Wednesday, July 30th at 7:30 to 9 p.m. I'm going to be painting her at the library. And here's the list. Stuff to see that whole right here, holistic pain management. I call it hellistic because it's like what they do to you is like hell. Not really, but man, it's bad. And my shoulder hurts today, but I think it's from the incision up there. It doesn't hurt like it used to, but it hurts pretty good. And because it's a holistic group, they don't use anesthesia, and it hurts, y'all. And I told y'all, but I'm going to tell you again in case somebody didn't hear. That surgery yesterday, I did it, I do all of them awake with no anesthesia because that holistic pain management doesn't do anesthesia. But all the other surgeries they did, I laid face down on a table, and the table had a hole in it that you put your face down in, and it's pretty comfortable laying there until they start digging that scalpel in, and then they ain't nothing comfortable then. But yesterday they had me sit up on the edge of the table. I had that surgery sitting up wide awake while they dug her. There's a knot there today. There's a knot that wasn't there before. And the bandage is right on top of that knot. I don't know what the heck that is. There's not one on the other side. I know that knot's hadn't been there before because I've always been rubbing my shoulder because it hurts so bad. Y'all have seen me do it 100 times, maybe 200 times. So there's a knot there that wasn't there before. I might need to call them about that, and it hurts. But I figured the pain was from the incision, but maybe not, I don't know. But anyway, I need to get busy reading your daily Bible readings, and the reason I'm doing it early, it's just now 5 after 6, which is early, sorta. I've got more gardening. I've got to water everything. I was wanting to spray weeds around the edge of my gardens because I have to weed eat around them all, and weed eating is hard for me to do with my bad back, so I'm trying to eliminate as much weed eating as I can. And I got some weed killer to spray around the edge of the gardens to kill those weeds, because I can only get the lawnmower so close to it, I can't get it close enough to get them all. And I was going to do that today, but I'm hurting so bad now, I don't know if I'll do it or not. But I do have to go out and water everything because I didn't yesterday. We had a chance of thunderstorms again last night, and it was a pretty good chance, 70 or 80% chance, but nothing happened, so I got to go water. I think you're caught up on everything now. I hate talking to y'all about money, but you know, my both of my incomes have been reduced drastically this year, and I'm suffering financially, and I don't know how to fix it. I would go back to work if I could, and I applied for 2 jobs, but I didn't get hired for either one. There's a lot of people in this town don't want to work, so you'd think there'd be plenty of jobs, but there's not. So I don't know what to do. But y'all have been donating to help me, and I really, 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 truly appreciate that. Way, way more than you know. It really helps me tremendously. And I haven't asked for money in a month, or 5 weeks was the last time. But if you can help, I would appreciate it. I put the thing back up over at my community page, the post page where you post pictures or memes or whatever, showing how to send me money through Venmo or Cash App or whatever. I can't remember what all's on there. And also my email address. If you want to mail me a check or a money order, send me an email and I will give you my address. I'm not going to post my address publicly because it is my house address where I live. And so I'm not going to post that publicly, even though anybody could look it up online if they really wanted to. But nothing's private anymore, in case you hadn't noticed. So if anybody can help me, I would appreciate it. And I'm really close, really super close to losing one source of income, and I don't know what the heck I'll do if I lose it, because I'm depending on every penny that I get, and I got back taxes on it that I can't pay, $2,900. I don't know why it's so high, because it wasn't but like $300 a year, and I know I didn't pay for 2 years. That's around $600. So I don't know where they came up with $2,900 unless they got some legal fees, and I don't know where they came up with that, but that's what they're wanting now. And I don't even have 29 cents today. Well, maybe I do in my change jar, but I know there's not enough. Well, there's not but about maybe $5 in there. But anyway, let me get started reading after I get another drink. Alrighty, y'all ready? Yesterday we shared the law and Ezra's explanation of it, and today we're gonna, or I guess it was Nehemiah's. Well, hang on a minute, let's see. Okay, Ezra read it. And now, chapter 9, where we're at today, Ezra is going to pray after reading the law. And this is a long chapter, y'all. Y'all fasten your seat belts, put your crash helmet on, hang on, and here we go. Now, in the 24th day of this month, the children of Israel were assembled with fasting and with sackcloths and earth upon them. And the seed of Israel separated themselves from all strangers and stood and confessed their sins and the iniquities of their fathers. And they stood up in their place and read in the book of the law of the Lord their God 1/4 part of the day, and another 1/4 part they confessed and worshipped the Lord their God. Then stood up one of the stairs of the Levites, Jeshua and Bani, and Kadmiel, Shebaniah, Buni, Sherebiah, Bani, and Chenani, and cried with a loud voice unto the Lord their God. Then the Levites, Jeshua and Kadmiel, Bani, Hashabaniah, Sherebiah, Hodijah, Shebaniah, and Pethahiah, said, Stand up and bless the Lord your God forever and ever. And blessed be thy glorious name, which is exalted above all blessing and praise. Thou, even thou, art Lord alone. Thou hast made heaven, the heaven of heavens, with all their hosts, the earth, and all things that are therein, the seas, all that is therein, and thou preservest them all, and the host of heaven worshipeth thee. Y'all think about that. It is so awesome that our God, the one we're going to be spending all eternity with, did everything that I just read. It just boggles my mind. And I bet there's a whole lot more that he's done that we don't know anything about. That's why I have requested a 10,000-year tour with him showing me everything that he's done, because I want to see it all. It may take 100,000 years, I don't know. Thou art the Lord, the God who didst choose Abram, and broughtest him forth out of Ur of the Chaldees, and gavest him the name of Abraham. And that's who we descend from, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Abraham, his son Isaac, and his son Jacob. And foundest his heart faithful before thee, and madest a covenant with him to give the land of the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Amorites, and the Perizzites, and the Jebusites, and the Girgashites, to give it, I say, to his seed, and hast performed thy words, for thou art righteous, and didst see the affliction of our fathers in Egypt, and heardest their cry by the Red Sea, and showest signs and wonders upon Pharaoh, and on all his servants, and on all the people of his land, for thou knewest that they dealt proudly against them. So didst thou get thee a name, and it is this day. And thou didst divide the sea before them, so that they went through the midst of the sea on the dry land, and their persecutors thou throwest into the deeps as a stone into the mighty waters. Moreover, thou leddest them in the day by a cloudy pillar, and in the night by a pillar of fire, to give them light and the way wherein they should go. Thou camest down also upon Mount Sinai, and spakest with them from heaven, and gavest them right judgments and true laws, good statutes and commandments, and madest known unto them thy holy Sabbath, and commandest them precepts, statutes, and laws by the hand of Moses thy servant, and gavest them bread from heaven for their hunger, and broughtest forth water for them out of the rock for their thirst, and promised them that they should go in to possess the land which thou hadst sworn to give them. But they and their fathers dealt proudly, and hardened their necks, and hearkened not to the commandments, and refused to obey, neither were mindful of thy wonders that thou didst among them, but hardened their necks, and in their rebellion appointed a captain to return to their bondage. But thou art a God ready to pardon, gracious and merciful, slow to anger, and of great kindness, and forsookest them not. Did y'all get that verse? I'm going to read it again. I hope you don't mind. I'm going to read the last two verses I just read. But they and their fathers dealt proudly, and hardened their necks, and hearkened not to thy commandments. And if you're following along, this is verses 16 and 17 I'm rereading. Verse 17 now. And refused to obey, neither were mindful of thy wonders that thou didst among them, but hardened their necks, and in their rebellion appointed a captain to return to their bondage. But thou art a God ready to pardon, gracious and merciful, slow to anger, and of great kindness, and forsookest them not. That's my God, y'all, right there. That last sentence, that is my God. I hope you know him. I hope he's your God. Thou art a God ready to pardon, gracious and merciful, slow to anger, and of great kindness, and forsookest them not. You need him for your God if you don't have him. You got to get rid of your sins. Can't get into heaven with sin. Jesus died for your sins. All you got to do is believe in everything that Jesus did for you, and you will be saved for all eternity. Yea, when they had made them a molten calf, and said, This is thy God that brought thee up out of Egypt, and have wrought great provocations, yet thou in thy manifold mercies forsookest them not in the wilderness. The pillar of the cloud departed not from them by day to lead them in the way, neither the pillar of fire by night to show them light, and the way wherein they should go. Thou gavest also the good Spirit to instruct them, and withheldest not thy manna from their mouth, and gavest them water for their thirst. Yet 40 years didst thou sustain them in the wilderness, so that they lacked nothing. Their clothes waxed not old, and their feet swelled not. Moreover, thou gavest them kingdoms and nations, and didst divide them into corners. So they possessed the land of Sihon, and the land of the king of Heshbon, and the land of Og, king of Bashan. Their children also multipliedst thou as the stars of heaven, and broughtest them into the land concerning which thou hadst promised to their fathers that they should go in to possess it. So the children went in and possessed the land, and thou subduedest before them the inhabitants of the land, the Canaanites, and gave them into their hands, with their kings and the people of the land, that they might do with them as they would. And they took strong cities and a fat land, and possessed houses full of all goods, wells digged, vineyards, and olive yards, and fruit trees in abundance. So they did not eat, and were filled, and became fat, and delighted themselves in thy great goodness. Nevertheless, they were disobedient, and rebelled against thee, and cast thy law behind their backs, and slew thy prophets, which testified against them, to turn them to thee, and they wrought great provocations. Therefore thou deliveredst them into the hand of their enemies, who vexed them, and in the time of their trouble, when they cried unto thee, thou heardest them from heaven, and according to thy manifold mercies, thou gavest them saviors, who saved them out of the hand of their enemies. This is a wonderful prayer. This is a great prayer. I'm going to read it again when I'm done with y'all. But after they had rest, they did evil again before thee. Therefore leftest thou them in the hand of their enemies, so that they had the dominion over them. Yet when they returned and cried unto thee, thou heardest them from heaven, and many times didst thou deliver them according to thy mercies. God is so merciful, y'all. I'm reading it to you. It happened. God is so merciful, and goodness gracious. He was merciful to me, a sinner. It's a wonder he didn't pinch my head off and shove it up my rear end, as sinful as I used to be. But he kept on. He was patient with me. He loved me for whatever reason. And he got me finally. And now I'm all his. I'm all his now. I love him so much. And testifiest against them, that thou mightest bring them again unto thy law. Yet thou dealt proudly, and hearkened not unto thy commandments, but sinned against thy judgments, which if a man do, he shall live in them. And withdrew the shoulder, and hardened their neck, and would not hear. Yet many years didst thou forbear them, and testifiedst against them by their spirit and thy prophecies, yet would they not give ear. Therefore gavest thou them into the hand of the people of the lands. Nevertheless, for thy great mercy's sake, thou didst not utterly consume them, nor forsake them, for thou art a gracious and merciful God. I'm going to read that again, y'all. For thou art a gracious and merciful God, and he is indeed, I guarantee you. Now therefore, our God, the great, the mighty, and the terrible God, who keepest covenant and mercy, let not all the trouble seem little before thee that hath come upon us, on our kings, on our princes, and on our priests, and on our prophets, and on our fathers, and on all thy people, since the time of the kings of Assyria unto this day. Howbeit, thou art just in all that is brought upon us, for thou hast done right, but we have done wickedly. Neither have our kings, our princes, our priests, nor our fathers kept thy law, nor hearkened unto thy commandments, and thy testimonies wherewith thou didst testify against them. For they have not served thee in their kingdoms, and in thy great goodness that thou gavest them, and in the large and fat land which thou gavest before them, neither turned they from their wicked works. Behold, we are servants this day, and for the land that thou gavest unto our fathers to eat the fruit thereof, and the good thereof, behold, we are servants in it. And it yieldeth much increase unto the kings whom thou hast set over us because of our sins. Also they have dominion over our bodies and over our cattle at their pleasure, and we are in great distress. And because of all this, we make a sure covenant and write it, and our princes, Levites, and priests seal unto it. That was awesome, y'all. That was very, very awesome. That was the 9th chapter of Nehemiah. That was some good reading, I guarantee you. Y'all read that. And it's true. Sadly, it's true. Alright, y'all, this is sort of a long video. If y'all can help me, I would so much appreciate it. And if you can't, I understand. I have, for years, I have been helping a mission over in the Philippines, and I'm still helping them, but I had to cut way back on how much I was giving them. I hope they're doing all right. But go to my post page that used to be called the community page, and the last post I made shows how you can contact me or how you can get money to me. And I thank y'all so much. I gotta get outside and water everything. And tomorrow I need to mow because the grass is getting high, and it just started growing. Well, we had that rain several days ago. We had rain 2 days in a row. So I imagine that's why it grew. Because normally it just sits there and doesn't do anything. I gotta mow tomorrow. God bless you, friends. I love and appreciate every one of you. Y'all have a good evening, and if any of you on the other side of the world are still listening to me, y'all have a wonderful morning and a wonderful afternoon. Everybody stay safe, and everybody stay close to the Lord your God. And if you're not saved, believe on the Lord Jesus Christ and be saved. Jesus did everything necessary for you to spend eternity in heaven. There's nothing you could do on your own to earn your salvation. It is a gift from God through Jesus. All you got to do is believe. Do it, friend, right now. You don't need a preacher. You don't need a church. It's between you and God. God bless you.